Alright everyone, we start off today talking about the suggestion. It's not yet known, although it's being reported on as though it's a done deal. If you look at the news headlines, there's definitely a little bit of a lie by structure and of omission. Some context is missing. The scuttlebutt is that Donald Trump is considering going on Tucker Carlson's show, which is based on Twitter mainly, during the GOP debate. And that's in 5 days roughly now. That would be wise. I would advise Trump to seriously consider that because it would lead to an epic meltdown. What would happen? There are multiple things Trump can do, by the way. Actually, he's got a whole arsenal of different things he can do to fuck with the rest of the GOP field right now. Going on Tucker's show, that would be pretty good. That would be a flexing move because millions of people who otherwise will watch the debate will be watching Donald Trump talk to Tucker Carlson on a Twitter live feed. Possibly crashing the Twitter system in the process. He'd probably get more attention than any of the legacy networks that would be covering the debate, obviously. MSNBC, NBC, Fox, etc. They'll be focused elsewhere. And then you'll end up with legacy media cope where they say, well, if you add all of the networks together, the viewership was higher than Tucker Carlson with Trump. Trump, ergo, is a loser. That would be their cope. They would have a meltdown. The copium huffing would hit obscene levels, although we're pretty much already at obscene levels of copium right now. We've got him this time, just 2 more weeks bluing on. The entire GOP field combined wouldn't pull in as much clout as Donald Trump effectively. Then you'd have other people live reacting to that. It'd be funny to see, it'd be great if you could get like a list of maybe the top 10,000 streamers that tend to do that sort of thing. They live react to political content. I've done this before. I can't do it on my time zone, although in the future I definitely wish to do it again because it's great fun. Live reacting hilarity to Mike Pence putting his foot in his mouth. Yeah, that goes over pretty well. I think that people really enjoyed that. Also, now you can use Opera when you're using StreamYard, and you can still drag in tabs and show people what you're watching, so it makes more sense now. They have improved, by the way. I think this is a great idea. Donald Trump would be competing with the GOP field and would effectively be out-competing all of them at the same time. It would just be, I mean, we've got new polling in from Iowa, New Hampshire, and now we've got Louisiana polling as well for the GOP primaries. Trump is so far out ahead at this point, it's like, I don't even know why they're bothering. Some states are trying to keep him off the ballot. Other states, I think, are huddling right now thinking, can't we just suspend the primary and give the delegates to the technical incumbent? This is an ace up the sleeve that I've discussed now for the better part of a year, and it is still a possibility. Although with indictment gate looming, now 5th indictment looming in Arizona possibly, I doubt that the states will actually do that. If they do, it's effectively a fuck you to the GOP's uniparty leadership. More than anything else. It's less of an endorsement of Trump and more of a, hey, Mitch McConnell, you're a loser sort of thing. He's got other options, though. This is not ironclad. We're not sure that this is, according to 2 sources, familiar with Trump's thinking. Okay, who? Chang the janitor? You know, the one that used to work over in Wuhan, but then he moved to the United States on a work visa and to infiltrate the Mar-a-Lago or something like that? Did Rudy Giuliani contact NBC News? Yeah, that's really, really likely. So he may or may not actually do this. It would be epic. I would love it. I would definitely be watching Tucker and Trump as opposed to the GOP debate because the GOP debate will be formulaic. That's the other problem. The GOP debate will be Mike Pence strenuously avoiding answering any question about his old boss, and Ron DeSantis pulling his punches, and Chris Christie castigating them for it, and occasionally someone else will weigh in. Vivek Ramaswamy will go off on some high-sounding rhetoric, pretending to be an outsider, basically. He'll get hammered by Christie, too, and then probably spar with Ron DeSantis because he wants to usurp second place. Well, there you go. There's the first Republican debate, and half the field doesn't even qualify to get on the debate stage. They either don't have the donors, they don't have the polling support, or they haven't signed the pledge, so... Chris Christie says that he'll sign it, but he won't honor it. So, basically it's a done deal as far as the Republicans falling into friggin' anarchy over there. Meanwhile, blaming Trump. He's the chaotic one. We're not all screwing around ourselves. Anyway, there's other options. Number 1. He could hold a rally at the same time as the Republican debate. That would be, I think, less wise because it would get less attention. The problem is that without the legacy networks broadcasting the rally, and they won't, other than maybe occasionally covering it in clips later to criticize him, it would get less attention. He'd still have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people watching live on Rumble. It would still drain some of the ratings away from the GOP debate, but its effect, I think, would be more blunted. I think it would be better to go on Tucker with Twitter and Rumble and Truth Social and sort of leave it at that, as comparing those two. Another possibility is he gets back on Twitter. That's all he has to do. If he really wants to fuck with these people, all he needs to do is make one tweet. He can tweet literally anything that he wants, although the ultimate mimetic move would be to tweet the picture of him coming down the escalator back in 2016 with a little blurb like, "We're back, baby," or something like that. That would be the top tier move in my opinion. That would be the wisest thing to do, although, to be clear, he could contemporaneously do that and go on Tucker at the same time. He could tweet a couple hours before, go on Tucker's show, then head off to a rally and absorb the whole day if he wants to. By the way, he's also fending off multiple court cases at the moment, so around the GOP debate schedule, I think he's got to go to 3 different courts in this same week, which is obvious election interference. He can do other things. He could just have some sort of impromptu appearance, which would get panned by the media, but would get attention. He could live react to the debate, actually. Or he could show up, prance up on stage, "Hey, look, I'm signing the loyalty pledge. I pledge to support myself," or something like that. It would get guffaws from the crowd. It would be considered funny. And then he can proceed to pound the other people in the race, probably in association with a couple of others. There is one individual there that is very much working for Trump. I've pointed this out several times. There's also now, it's come to my mind, an individual that is pretending to be an outsider while being a unipartyist trying to stop Trump. So far, not as successful as it could be, but they're still trying to get in there as a Manchurian candidate, basically. Trump would be wise, though. I think that the easiest thing for him to do, and the most likely of his various options, rally, get back on Twitter and troll everyone, live reaction or something, or going on Tucker. Going on Tucker is the most likely choice that he would make. And really it would be quite something, because a million people that would be watching the debate won't be watching it, draining the ratings of the big cable networks while redirecting it to, hey, here's Donald Trump. Hey, maybe Tucker Carlson will roast him this time. Well, it'll probably be mostly softballs, although to Tucker Carlson's credit, I have to say this. I'm not a Tucker Carlson superfan because he's worked with a legacy network, although I would be remiss not to mention that so did Carrie Lake for some time. She has gone on a pogrom against the legacy media. Good on her. Tucker Carlson has been relatively even-handed when it comes to discussing things with various candidates. Of course, he's talked to Ramaswamy, he's talked to DeSantis, etc. So far, so good. I mean, I can understand why Fox got rid of him, because he actually attempts journalism. So that's one up for Tucker Carlson. As for whether he would make a good VP or not, that remains to be seen. We need a little bit more opinion from him during this political campaign season. I think it would be wise for Trump to do this. And it would be easy. I mean, I still don't know if he can contractually even get back on Twitter, although I believe at this point he can. He simply has to post on Truth Social first, or maybe that part of the contract is worn out too. It's not 100% clear. That's about all. Peace out.